Ra ra Roma Roma ma ga ga ooh la la, what's your bad romance? Ra ra Roma Roma ma ga ga ooh la la, what's your bad romance? I want you ugly, I want you disease, I want you everything as long as it's free. I want your love, 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 love. I want your love. Drama, the touch of your hair. I want your leather studded kiss in the sand. I want your love, 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 love. I want your love. You know that I want you, and you know that I need you. I want the bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your lovers revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. Oh, caught in a bad romance. Oh, caught in a bad romance. Ra ra Roma Roma ma ga ga ooh la la, what's your bad romance? I want your horror, I want your design, 'cause you're a criminal as long as you're mine. I want your love, 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 love. I want your love. I want your psycho, your vertigo stick, while you admire a window, baby, you're sick. I want your love, 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 love. I want your love, your love. You know that I want you, and you know that I need you. I want the bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your lovers revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. Oh, caught in a bad romance. Oh, caught in a bad romance. Ra ra Roma Roma ma ga ga ooh la la, what's your bad romance? Walk, walk, fashion, baby, work it, move that bit crazy. Walk, walk, passion, baby, work it. I'm a freak bit, baby. I want your love and I want your revenge. I want your love, I wanna be friends. Je veux ton amour et je veux ta revanche. Ton amour, I don't wanna be friends. No, I wanna be friends. I wanna be friends. What's your bad romance? What's your bad romance? I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your lovers revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. Oh, what's your bad romance? What's your bad romance? What's your bad romance? Ra ra Roma Roma ma ga ga ooh la la, what's your bad romance?